Welcome to Gary's Glorious Golden Nuggets. This is episode 0004, and today we have Agata Davies, who resides in the United Kingdom. She's got an 18-year history of working in the fitness industry, and when the COVID crisis lockdowns hit the UK in March of 2020, she had already been thinking she needed to do something to leverage herself. She decided to enter into the digital world. Upon entering this digital world, this mother of two discovered that there was a steep learning curve, lots of skills to be learned. And since that time, she has developed herself to a point where she has totally rebranded her husband's online business. She has created her own business and rebranded herself. And she is still, as she says, in the process of discovering herself in this new digital universe. So let me welcome you, Agata.
Thank you for having me. I feel quite humbled, really.
Oh, I'm really happy to have you here. I just want to make a disclosure. Agata and I were friends. We've discovered each other on this drive together, and we participate in a couple mastermind groups together. So we have already outstanding relationship. And this is something that people just discover when you get into the digital world. So Let me just pop in here. What's the one thing you wish you had known before you began this enterprise?
I think the most important thing that I wish I had known was that it takes time, that it is not a magic bullet, that you can't just click a button and suddenly see money rolling in, that there is a process of learning, continuous learning, it doesn't end, and that there is a process of investment. There must be a level of investment of some sort. It doesn't have to be thousands upon thousands of pounds, but you must be prepared to at least purchase a website, to at least purchase the services that come with that, to maybe lay out some funds to order samples if you're planning to do, let's say, print on demand, etc. That takes time. Everything takes time. And from an idea to conception, months can pass by. And sometimes it's not even up to you. For example, trademarking your brand, that takes months and it's out of your hands because it's the authorities essentially have to deal with that, and you're at the waiting end. So my brand was created in my head in August. Now it's January 2021, and it's only now that I am putting it out there, and it's not officially out there yet. I haven't launched it. I haven't created it as per nobody, you know about it, but nobody else knows about it. So so it takes time. It's not a magic bullet. And for those who want to get into it, they just need to prepare themselves that they might need to wait a little bit longer.
It is not a get rich quick scheme.
No, definitely not. And if somebody wishes for that to be, I'm sure there are ways that they can raise that money. However, I'm not quite sure how satisfying that is in the long term. And I also don't know whether it's done with integrity. My biggest, I suppose, thing is to be at peace with myself, that whatever I'm promoting, selling, helping people, that it's done with integrity, that I can sleep well at night and fall asleep with a smile on my face, knowing that I have helped somebody to realize their potential. I have helped somebody, brought that smile to their face. I let them realize what they can do, maybe gave them ideas. So I think that integrity is much more important than money, because I think money comes with it. Mm-hmm. I hope so, fingers crossed.
It sounds like you're doing something that you love, though.
Yes, I always have. I looked back recently and I thought I have, and I know it's the word never, but I have kind of never went for money. I went for the jobs that I wanted to do, whether they were paying little or more, right? Because there were jobs that paid a lot and there were jobs that I had to do for free, to build awareness. But it just all came with passion.
So what's the biggest failure that you've had, and what did you learn from it?
As a general rule, I do not accept failure as a concept. It does not exist in my mind. What we go through are lessons, stumbles, and then we dust ourselves off, we pick ourselves up, and we keep going. We learn from mistakes that we are bound to make. each and every one of us will make those, and they can be costly, they can be, just little silly mistakes, but they will happen. Failures, I think people that do use that word, I think they got some self-belief. They need to go on a journey of self-belief of some sort, maybe help someone else to help them realize who they are and what they stand for.
Agata, I think that question just reveals mindset to people, because I find that people who engage in the entrepreneurial process realize the only true failure is when you stop. Everything that happens is a teaching experience. It's a learning curve. Some things don't go so well. Sometimes the lesson is just don't do that again. But for the most part, it's the process. And the people who don't have the right mindset says, oh, it's just a failure.
Yeah, I think I could, sorry.
Yeah.
I think I could just change a word of stop to quit. I think that's that, because quitting has that feeling of it, because we sometimes may need to stop. We may need to stop to regather, we may need to stop to refine that. And we just need to get ourselves out of that mindset of quitting. It's not something that we need to do. But stopping, yes, sometimes we just need to stop and lie under the palm tree and just soak in the sun and maybe regather, change direction, rethink, right? We may need to stop one project, but that doesn't mean that we're stopping completely. So that's just something that I needed to add on.
So what is the biggest piece of advice that you would give somebody who says, hey, Agata, I'm thinking about doing this? What would you tell them?
Fasten your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelt. Get ready. It is a roller coaster, emotional and practical roller coaster. It is a loop of loops out there, because you're high and then you're low and then you're riding it and then you're back high and low and riding, and then so on. I mean, no week is the same. No week is the same. The business may be going well and we are like, yay, I'm getting this and I'm getting that and I'm getting subscribers and the money's coming in, and then something is happening and you go, oh my gosh, that, is the worst thing ever. But we just need to keep going. Just need to keep going, and just be patient with yourself and reach out to people that know more than you. I think that's the most important thing. Surround yourself with people that know more than you and be helpful and open. And sometimes you may even know more than them about a whole different subject. So it's a give and take relationship.
So there's a real importance for having a mastermind group, a community of people.
I think so. I think one of the biggest mistakes that I've done was thinking that I can do this all by myself. I think it held me back. I think it kept me low. It kept me at a low point because I was at a tug of war within myself and lack of ability to do certain things that I wanted to do, and hitting the walls and not knowing. It's like this gaming character that hits the wall but keep going, keeps hitting the wall. It's just like bouncing against the wall, and it's like, where do you go? And once you are surrounded with people, once you open yourself, I suppose, because you may be surrounded with people, but you may not be open to that. So once you open yourself and you accept the fact that I'm a part of something bigger, it's not just me creating this whole business by myself, taking all the glory and all, I can do this all by myself. That's just silly. That's just silly. So yes, surround yourself with people that know more than you do.
It's important to realize that most entrepreneurs are solopreneurs. They just think that they're doing it alone. But if you want to be a success, it's really hard to do it all by yourself. You do need to have other people. So in your life, who are the 3 most important people who've helped you along the way?
This is a tricky question that I struggle with, actually, because I find influence and that help along the way in many and various persons that I meet on a daily basis. I find the influence in my husband. I find the influence in my mom. I find the influence in my dad. I find the influence, in my children. I find influence wherever it appears. And I do my best not to hold anybody on a pedestal, because I know that those pedestals are shaky. That behind closed doors, these people are just like you and I. And they might have been just a little bit more fortunate or wise or clever to build their fortunes or build their ways. I struggle to give you a name, because on a daily basis, I might find an influence in a lady who sits at the cashier at the grocery shop. She will say something, she will do something that will influence me for that day. And I'll go and act upon it. So I'm sorry, I don't have any names for you.
I think it's really interesting because people have people in their personal life.
Gary,
Some
you
people will
influenced me. Because when you got your act together, so to speak, and wrote your book, which is coming out very soon, and we're all very excited about it, you influenced me to get my act together, to act upon my dreams. So there you go.
And now you have your book.
Now I have my book
Yeah.
that is in the stages of being
Yeah.
finished, and the last T's are being crossed. So
Yeah.
thank you. But that's the influence I'm talking about. Is it that daily little dribble that if we are attuned, we will see that and we act upon it. If we are too much into our struggles and worries, I know life can be really tough, but it's just about being attuned and seeing the messages and using that as an influence to make our lives better and to make other lives people's better, right?
Agata, this is wonderful. Let me ask you about resources. What are the best resources you have found that have assisted you along your journey?
All right, so the best basic resource that I have actually kissed at the end of 2020 was my laptop. My faithful laptop. And it was about, I don't know, an hour to midnight, and I was sending a last email from the leads that were signing up to my services. And I thought, I'm just going to be really nice, and rather than sending them automated list, I'm just going to send them a personalized email saying thank you for subscribing and wish them happy new year. And as I closed the laptop, I just took it in my hands and I kissed it and I hugged it and I said thank you so much, because it's this one machine that is a few years old now that I absolutely adore, that almost died on me last year, but I managed to, with the help of my community around me, I've managed to rescue and restart from scratch. And it's that charging cable and this laptop, just like, we talk about this online lifestyle, a laptop lifestyle, and it literally is. I might not be working from the Caribbean, I'm at home in London, but it does allow. And the second biggest resource is the community, all the people around me. So with regards to the book, for example, if not for that community, I would not have an illustrator. I have an illustrator. If not for the community, I would not have a person that would go through it and cross the T's and dot the I's. I've got that person, and so on and so on, and the ripple effects goes on. So I think I would not be able to be where I am today right now in that speed of time. So we're talking about what started roughly April, right? So it's January now, middle of January. I would not be where I am right now without the people around me. No way.
I think it's really true. They talk about a true leader, and any entrepreneur is a leader because they got to lead their company. They're responsible. They're the ultimate. Learned how to delegate. And when you're a solo-prenuer, you have to delegate to other people to do things to free up your time. And what is lovely about this digital universe is the fact that you leverage yourself with technology. You kissed your laptop because it's so much leverage.
It allows me, right? Yeah. This laptop allows me to communicate with a person who's across the ocean, who's working on a book with me as my partner in proverbial crime. So we are combined together. The miles and miles and miles are separating us, but because of this little machine. That little machine is a window. You know when they said it's a window to the world? It is a window to the world. It is. And it mustn't be underestimated. And I know most people use laptops for socializing and online shopping, but it really can be used for realizing dreams. It can be done.
And it doesn't matter where you are in the world. You could be in New York City or in a hut in Uganda. If you have the internet and a laptop,
we know about that, Gary, don't we? The internet connection. Oh, gosh.
It's a great thing. So let me ask you this. What's the most common myth you want to dispel about this career path you've chosen?
I think it's coming back to the preparation that it takes, that it's a magic bullet. It's not. It's not. Coming back to a lot of YouTube ads where look at me, I've got this and I've got that, and millions are streaming into my account every day, and that. just sign up for my class and I'll show you how to do it. And I'm thinking that I don't think that's the way it is. I might be wrong. I might not be knocking at the right door. But I think the myth of making money online is super easy is a myth, because it isn't easy. Nothing is easy. You have to learn it. You have to study it. You have to spend time doing it. You need to surround yourself with people who know more than you. And then it becomes easy. But it is not easy at the beginning. And you may have the digital skills already, that's fine, but you still need to learn how to market yourself, how to put yourself out there, maybe even the confidence of looking into the eye of the camera, right? It's all that has to be learned. So it is an ongoing step-by-step journey, and it's not a magic bullet. So I think that would be the myth. If somebody says, oh yeah, I'm making money online, I just did this and that and it's working, great. How sustainable is it? Like, how long can you carry it on for? What's your journey? What's your 5-year plan? How are you going to build it? So it's almost bringing it back to that basics of building a company from the ground up in I'll call it the non-digital world. What is your plan? What's your business plan? Where are you going with it, right? So without that plan, without that idea, jumping from a tree to a tree, I think it does have a shelf life. So the myth is it's a quick fix. It's depending how long you want to be in the game for. Because if you're looking for a quick buck and a quick investment, that's fine. That could be in a way. I'm not an expert by all means. But if you want to be in it for a long term with integrity, then I think you need to spend time and commitment.
I think what people really miss, and this is the myth, people think if you're online, you're just somehow anonymous, and you're not. This is a relationship business.
Oh, yes.
It's such a relationship business.
Oh, yes, especially when you're putting your brand to it and your name to it. So as you can see, agatadavies.com, I'm my own brand. It's an umbrella. There's many little things happening underneath it. But if something goes wrong, that's my name on the line. I'm not hiding behind so-so.com. So even as right now, I'm going through the process of ordering and trying out samples for the clothes on print on demand. If my clothes are disappearing in my washing machine, not even disintegrating, just disappearing, right? So for example, some of the clothing were really good and I'm happy to put them out online, but some of them, the print would come off after second wash, or the t-shirt will be all twisted. I can't put my name on that. Not for somebody to buy it. Even with reviews, bad reviews travel further than good reviews, right? So if I get a bad review for my t-shirt with my name, my brand on it, how would that is going to reflect on people? So on me rather. So yes, that authenticity must be there. That care must be there. That long-term customer care must be there. It all ties up together, and it cannot be anonymous, because if it is anonymous, then who's behind the screen? Who are we trusting?
Absolutely. Oh man, I'm loving this. I'm loving this interview. So many golden nuggets just popping out left and right.
I'm made of gold, Gary.
Yes, you
I'm just
are.
chipping away at you now.
Well, if you were in my shoes, what question would you have wanted me to ask you?
That's an easy one, Gary. What took me so long? Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that we have found each other, and that you have found this place as well that we are all a part of, because it's got you to a place where we are having this conversation, and that wasn't even on the cards a few months back. So yes, what took you so long, Gary?
Well, I got to tell you.
You don't have to answer. You don't have to answer.
We all find our way in the digital universe. Literally, just like you said, I kind of thought, well, I'll come in. They'll teach me how to build a website. I'll be an affiliate marketer. People will clearly see the value of anything that I'm putting out, and the money will flow in next month. I'll be really all set. Little did I know that the learning curve took me almost 2 months to get the website built, and then there's such a thing as a sales funnel. What is that? Right. So there's a lot that people have to learn, and there's no sense in hiding it. We have to be upfront and tell people, but the benefit, what I've discovered that I didn't anticipate, was the spiritual and emotional growth that came out of this process.
Yeah, the recognition of self, absolutely, and the recognition of self power, right? That we forget that we have because of circumstances, because maybe of people that are around us, maybe troubles and so on and so on. We forget how much power we have, and it's just about. Sometimes the few initial months can be about actually just getting and scraping away, just getting to that power before even taking a step towards making any money.
You have
Just
to get
finding
your
out
head
who
right.
we are. Have to get your head right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and the world did not prepare you to get your head right. That it was pretty much to batter you, to make you fit into some box that was uncomfortable to begin with. But yeah, once you get that sense of freedom, wow.
There's no going back.
No,
There is no
no,
going back, you see.
no,
I,
no.
I, I always say if you were to put a name badge on me and stick me in the office to talk about my key performance indicators, I think I would start, I don't know, doing bad things, right? Because it's not something that is aligned with me anymore. I had to do that before. Every time I was putting that badge on, Gary, every time I had to put the badge on, I was like, I'm putting a badge on me. I hate it. I don't like walking around knowing people knowing what my name is. I didn't want it. It was really weird. It was uncomfortable. It was,
Yeah.
and although I held a high position, I was a gym manager, right? It's a nice, cushy position, but you're still wearing a name badge and you're still wearing a work uniform, right? Your team's uniform, and I'm like, I don't like uniforms. Right, so that sense of freedom was already brewing in me. I didn't want to do that. I remember my work uniform was black and purple. It was a purple polo t-shirt. I do not like polo t-shirts, so I would make my way around it by wearing purple and black clothes, but not from my uniform. And my boss would pull me over every time. So I guess I was your uniform. I'm like, oh, come on. I knew from very young, actually, from my early 20s, that I need freedom. I cannot have someone that looks at my hands while I'm working. I worked for a company. I'm not going to mention the name, but it's a rather big company, especially in the UK. And so it's a creative music company. And the way the office was laid out was that the boss was kind of on one wall. His office had glass walls, and the rest of the office was an open plan. So when he sat in his office, he had a eagle's eye view over everybody. And that just, you eat at your desk, you drink at your desk, you work, you don't want to go to the toilet because you're thinking you're not spending enough time in front of your laptop and your computer. And it's just, I remember standing in front of a mirror, preparing myself to go to work, and an ad was running on a telly for something that I was part of creating. It was a fitness DVD. And I remember looking at it, and the feeling should have been, oh my gosh, that's my work on a telly, right? I'm so happy. I cried, Gary. I was putting on my makeup and I cried because I was so unhappy to go to that place. And I knew that I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. So there's a lot of little moments like that build up. And I think the release moment came of having my children, because I kind of had a very good excuse of not going back to work after that.
Well, let me ask you this. I think there's going to be a lot of people who resonate with the things that you've said. How could they best get a hold of you online?
They could follow. So I was very conscious of my time. I do apologize for that, looking away from the screen for a second. They can follow me at agatadavies.com, which is the easiest place to get to. And it's an umbrella website where you can then go into whatever social media you want to go to, and maybe stay in touch with me. Or there's a couple of other links that you could follow to maybe start your own journey as well in this great hall of ours, hall of opportunities that you either sink or swim.
Wonderful.
So yes, agatadavies.com is the easiest way to do this. And then I'll be right back. You get in touch with me, I'll be right back.
Fantastic. I'm going to give you 2 minutes uninterrupted.
Oh my gosh.
To tell the world anything you want to say. Go.
Keep going. Keep chipping away. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do something. If you have it in your heart, and if you have this burning desire of doing something, if your heart is ready to jump out of your chest, just do it. Follow your gut feeling. Go for it, go for it, go for it. Even if you need to isolate yourself from friends and family even sometimes. right? Do it, because when it comes to the last moments in our lives and we look back, what regrets will we have? Have we acted upon that dream of climbing Mount Everest? Not my dream, by the way, but I'm sure somebody has one, right? No. Well, it's a bit too late now. Can't really do it now towards the end of it. So act upon them. There's no going back. Every day is a blessing. Every day that we wake up, every day that we take a breath is an opportunity to do something great, not just for us, but for the people around us. So just keep going. If you fall down, get up. Right? If you say, "Oh, I need too much sleep," as Arnold Schwarzenegger says, "Well, I'd sleep faster." Right? Get up earlier. Or if you say, "Oh, I know about my kids get up at 7," get up at 5. Right? Do something in that hour. Go and exercise. Go get yourself in a state of mind. Look for a coach. Look for a mentor. Look for a community. Look for a friend that is on the same wavelength that you are. But keep going. That's all I can say. I've done my best to install that in my children. I hope they're remembering it, because I stopped banging on about it now for a while. Is when you close your eyes in the evening to go to sleep, ask yourself this question: what have I done today to make me feel proud? And if you can answer that question confidently, then you can close your eyes. If not, you got some work to do. Right? You've got some work to do. Catch up, do a double proud tomorrow, compensate for the lost day. And it's not my saying, it's not my words. These were the words of a music group called N People, I think. I'm not sure if you remember them. It was a chorus, and he was like, "What have you done today to make me feel proud?" And I thought, oh my gosh, this is brilliant. This is brilliant. And so I live my day by this little saying, by this little question. And even yesterday, I said to myself, "Oh, what have I done to make myself feel proud?" And I've dealt with some old paperwork or this or that, blah, 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 things that were lying about that I had to sort out. And I thought, yeah, I'm proud about that, because I didn't choose not to do it. I chose to deal with it. I chose to step up. So there you
Awesome.
go. Keep going.
Totally awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you, Agata, for being our guest today. Please subscribe to our podcast. I hope you find that there have been golden nuggets that you can use today. Thank you, Agata.
Thank you, Gary. That was amazing.